faithfully delivering value, exploring great books from around the world. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're discussing the book Animal Liberation. Human progress has been built on animal suffering. For instance, human expansion keeps encroaching on animal habitats. Many species face extinction. Scientific research shows current extinction rates are hundreds of times faster than pre-human eras. By 2050, a quarter of Earth's mammals could vanish. Poaching remains rampant for ivory and animal pelts. Even zoos confine animals unnaturally. Their suppressed anguish remains unheard as they watch families torn apart. So why do humans enslave animals? How can we pet our dogs while eating meat without guilt? This book offers new perspectives on human-animal relationships. Since 1975, it's inspired millions to join animal rights movements. It's become a bioethics classic and vegan manifesto. Author Peter Singer teaches bioethics at Princeton. Having taught at Oxford and NYU, he founded the International Bioethics Association. He's dedicated his life to animal liberation. Let's explore three key questions from this book. First, how terrible is modern life for animals? Second, what is animal liberation? Third, how can we achieve it? First question, how dire is animals' modern existence? In short, animals endure unprecedented abuse, captivity, hunting, extinction, and worse. These next two practices represent humanity's most severe harm to animals. First, using animals as scientific experimentation tools. Since the 1920s, nearly every new drug requires repeated toxicology testing on animals before market approval. Toxicologists systematically increase dosages to determine lethal limits during safety testing. And test subjects endure vomiting, diarrhea, paralysis, convulsions, and internal bleeding while lingering near death. An estimated millions of animals, mice, rabbits, primates, undergo such testing annually in the US alone. Condemned to be disposable lab equipment, even pregnant animals aren't spared when testing drug effects on human pregnancies. So, mother animals either die in agony or birth deformed offspring when surviving the experiments. Cosmetic testing proves far more brutal than pharmaceutical trials. The 1940s introduced Drey's tests, rabbit eye irritation experiments. Cosmetics frequently irritate sensitive eyes. Researchers immobilize rabbits in restraint devices while applying test substances to their eyes. Harsh chemicals melt eyeballs into shapeless masses of iris and cornea. 1980s data shows tens of thousands of rabbits dying helplessly in these tests yearly. These examples represent merely a fraction of institutionalized cruelty. But are these painful experiments truly necessary? The answer is no. Species differences make animal toxicology unreliable for human predictions. Human insulin causes fetal deformities in rabbits and mice, but not humans. While morphine calms humans, it agitates mice. Penicillin effectively fights bacteria in humans, but has no effect on guinea pigs. That's why human trials remain crucial before drug approval. Countless lab animals die in vain during this process. Current research systems over-rely on animal experimentation. The U.S. military conducted radiation exposure and chemical gas tests on monkeys. Military tests force-fed TNT capsules to 60 dogs daily, observing organ failure. These cruel experiments aim to determine physiological limits. British psychologists conducted cruel experiments on newborn monkeys with spiked surrogate mothers. Unpredictable spikes traumatized infants until mental collapse. This explored psychological breaking points through torture. Such pointless experiments continue globally despite ethical concerns. Now let's examine factory farming practices. Industrial farming treats animals like assembly line products in horrific conditions. First, consider poultry industry practices. Over 100 million broiler chickens get slaughtered annually per U.S. state. Chickens live 7-year lifespans compressed into weeks in 4-size cages. Yet they get slaughtered after just 7 weeks in damp, sweltering darkness. Factory farms use debeaking machines to cruelly remove chickens' beaks, causing immense pain. Laying hens fare no better. Males get suffocated in bags or ground alive at birth. 160 million male chicks get killed annually in the US alone. 10 to 15% of hens die from overcrowding before reaching slaughter age. Veal production methods prove even more brutal. Dutch veal crates immobilize calves while feeding them growth-laced liquid diets. The nutrient slurry contains high-fat milk powder and pharmaceuticals. Calves endure parasites and sleep deprivation in standing confinement. Um, Severe anemia creates the prized pale pink meat coloration. These represent standard industrial farming practices across species. Animals live in perpetual despair awaiting slaughter. Human consumption drives this systemic cruelty, hence animal liberation. So, what defines animal liberation? It transcends mere animal affection. This is ethical philosophy. As an ethicist, the author advocates fundamental equality for all sentient beings. Crucially, animals here include humans in this equality framework. This means recognizing animals' basic rights to existence and autonomy. You might think this sounds completely absurd. How could animals ever be equal to humans?